Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us today who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than Student Minister Tarus out of Pensacola, Florida. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam.
This is an extreme honor, and on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you again for coming on. Our first question that we have for you, sir,
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. The first question that we have for you is, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
The first 1998. I was in federal prison.
Yes, sir. And when you heard the teachings, being in prison, what was your next step once you heard them?
Well, how I first heard them was I was actually in Coleman Federal Prison, and I was in the hole. And they put me in the room with the brother that he was actually a Hebrew Israelite. And they was bringing us the lunch trays. And at the time I was, not far from where I am at now, but I was eating pork. And the brother was informing me on how the pork was not good for us. And by him being a Hebrew Israelite, he didn't explain to me the reason that we don't eat the pork because of his belief. He told me about what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about eating the pork. And so that is what started me on my journey, because when I got out of the shoe or the hole, you want to call it, and I got on the compound, I started seeing brothers walking around, as they call them, and they're good brothers. But and he was like, yeah, that's who you need to talk to. Because I was questioning him a little bit. Oh, okay, so what else about this Elijah guy? What else about this Elijah dude? And he pointed me to those brothers, and I started talking to them a little bit, and that was my first introduction. Now, I was afraid because I grew up a Christian, and all I know was Christianity. So when the little things they was coming at me with, I was a little like, nah, I'm cool. He was just telling me that God said we shouldn't eat this, and he was telling me about how we got high blood pressure and diabetes because of this. So I was just wondering about that. But them brothers were so skillful and wise at how they was giving me Islam that I thank Allah today for the way they did it.
Praise due to Allah. Yes, sir.
They didn't force it on me. They didn't force it on me. They just gave it to me in very small dosage that made me more intrigued. So they manipulated me, I would say, but it worked.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, my next question for you, sir, is every time that I interview people who have been in prison or jail, I always ask them to give us some advice for people who may think, especially the younger generation, who may think that jail or prison is cool. What advice would you give to them to try to steer them away from thinking that that is the case?
I think that, good question, Brother Joshua. I think where we go at is when we're talking to our youth, we're always telling them what they shouldn't do and how something is bad, right? Because that's obviously, we know that. But they're not trying to hear that in a world where they're trying to feed their family. So I think that when you go to them, you acknowledge what they're doing. Like, hey, listen, we ain't stupid. The white man ain't stupid. But what I would advise them is, I'm not going to tell you just to put down the pack right now, because I can't feed your family. I can't put diapers on your children. I can't do those things for you at this moment. But what I would tell you to do is take what you are making, get you some close friends, and invest that to become legitimate. So when I tell them like that, I'm not condemning them. I'm just telling them to transform their hustle into something else that won't put them under the jail or in the grave.
Yes, sir. All praise due to I like that. I like that. And so many people are showing you love from all over the country. My sisters are sending you greetings, of course, Mariah, the Captain Candace. I mean, just people just showing you love, and I can't wait to put this on YouTube. My next question is, how did your family and friends feel about you accepting the teachings?
Honestly, Brother Joshua, this is from the bottom of my heart. I didn't even care.
Mm.
And I think that was the very first thing. And I remember when my mom came to see me when I was in the institution, and I was so excited to tell her that I accepted Islam. And I hear so much kickback of how families be like they disown them, or they don't want to visit them no more, send them no more money. And when I told my mom, I said, well, Mom, I'm a Muslim now, under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, exemplified through Minister Farrakhan. You know what she told me, Brother Joshua?
Yes, sir.
I knew you were going to do that.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, when I told her that, she said that this is when she told me this story. Never knew this in my whole entire life. She said, I visited the mosque, because I'm originally from Miami.
Okay, okay.
That's where my family is from, but we moved up to Tampa, in the Tampa, St. Pete area, the Tampa Bay area. But when my mom was younger, she actually visited the mosque and heard the most honorable Elijah Muhammad for herself back in the early 70s.
Mm. Mm.
And I said, why you never told me that? We should have been doing this. But she just said she said she was invited out, and she went out and she heard the message for herself at that time. And she said she knew when I came to prison that I was going to eventually accept that. Now that's what she said. It took a lot of burden off me to not be ashamed to tell my family that. And then from that point on, I was running with it.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And once you got out, how was that process? How did that come about?
Oh man, the transition actually became so easy because this all I knew. I had spent the last probably 10 years, maybe 12 years of my sentence diving into these teachings. And I remember we got a brother named Brother Derek. He's out of Baton Rouge. He was my student minister in the prison. And when he got out years before me, but he used to always tell me, don't get caught up on numbers. Dive into your study guide. So all I did was constantly read study guides. And so when I got out, I had done, my emotion, as it says, rise above emotion to the thinking of God.
Yes, sir.
I didn't care that I saw 2 people in the mosque. I didn't care that I saw 7 people in the mosque. Even though on TV or on the video screen, we will see when the Honorable Minister Farrakhan will have huge crowds of people. And when you coming home, you thinking or expecting to see huge crowds of people. I was thinking about my salvation. So I didn't care if it was 1 person up in the mosque. Now, luckily, I came to a city that just became a mosque. So they were starting to, they were thriving a little bit under Student Minister Abel. So my transition wasn't too tough far as the teachings wise. Now, it was a little adjustment from living one way to live another way. But far as the teachings, I mean, because in there, we were black, cracking exact.
Mm.
Everything was hip hole, and, studying lessons, it was like that constantly. We worked out together, we ate together, we hung together, we watched football together. We did everything as a brotherhood in there. So, that was strengthened. And then when you got out here, it was everybody got jobs, everybody got families. So it ain't that much union out here. But we found that then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praise due to Allah. Okay, and some people showing you love as well in the comments.
Praise be
My
to
next
Allah.
question for you is, being from inside and out, just in your life in general, have you ever faced fear? And if so, how did you overcome that fear?
Wow. Have I ever faced this? Well, I'll tell you this then, a little story. When I was in prison and accepting these teachings, it gives us a sense of pride. Not a boastful pride, but just being awoke. Not just being a black man. We could talk about I'm black and I'm proud, but most of us don't know what that is, really. You know, they just taking it as skin complexion, but they're not using it as thought. To know that you are a part of the original, it puts so much in you to be proud of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now, being that inside of the belly, you come against obstacles like the authorities and other people about what you believe now. And I remember at one institution I was at where they wouldn't allow us to wash our prayer rugs. And I stood up to the warden and the captains and the chaplain and demanded that they do this for not just the Nation of Islam, but you're talking about the Sunni, the 5%, everybody that want to pray on their rug, on their musilla. And I had got so many believers and things like that riled up that we had met out on the rec yard, and they was trying to, long story short, they tried to hit me with a citing a riot charge. And that was going to give me an additional 5 years for saying I was trying to start a riot for something I believed in. But I was still willing to go through it. Now, I was afraid to put 5 more years on my 22 and a half year sentence. But I was willing to do it. And Allah allowed us to persevere through that. And we end up getting our prayer rugs washed every 2 weeks.
Oh, praise to Allah. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, great. And once you now, how are you able to unite the different communities as a student minister? How are you able to go about, like, because you were, in close quarters with different communities, how are you able to do that now?
Oh man, beautiful. Being in there and transitioning to out here, it allowed us to deal with different ethnic groups, different religious persuasions. So I had got cool with the Sunnis. I had got cool with the 5%. I had got cool with the moral science. I had got cool with the Christian, like because you around these people, y'all living together. So it allowed me to get a better understanding through the teachings, different attitudes, different personalities. It allowed me to cope with anyone. Because in there, you got to cope for survival.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, then you're able to transition that out here, that now I talk to all different types of pastors, all different type of the Hebrew Israelite community, the 5% community, the moral science community, all of those communities. I talk with all of them, and I tell them, because of the teachings, we are all brothers. See, I don't differentiate, because what we have is superior. We have is supreme. So the ministers have taught us we don't have to be afraid of nothing they talking about or what they saying. So I can go to them as a brother and still have the information that we have and bring it to them in dosages to where I can show them that, hey, listen, we are all believing in one God. And we can go from there. Because the ultimate plan outside of the unity is to have salvation for our people. And that's what I go at them with. How can you help me and I help you save our people that's suffering from the same enemy? It don't matter what religious persuasion we in. We all got the same enemy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when you go at them like that, they willing to understand that. And then I don't go to them with any type of way, fashion, or form of begging. Don't go at them with begging. We ain't got to beg. We got the truth. You put it on them to almost think you should be honored to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree.
That's how I put it on them. So that's why I don't have a problem with that or in there or out here.
Wonderful. All praise to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope I answered that question.
I know,
We can
yes,
go
sir,
on and
did.
on, but I'm trying to go from,
Yes, sir. Your wife, Sister Mariah, says that's right. And some people in the comments are showing love. All praises to Allah. Beautiful. Excellent. Great. All right. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Brother Minister, I have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. And I want to thank everyone who sponsored this month and who continues to give anonymous, here we go. Boom. And who continues to give anonymous donations and cash apps to the People's Podcast. We are greatly appreciated. Starting with my brother Rashad, Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. Please get both of those books. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. Love our tiny dancers. Raw Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Raw Communications. Also, Fashion Guides, Urban Wear for Men and Boys, 314-329-6009. He'll keep you fresh and dripping. We're coming right back to our student minister, Brother Tarus. Our student minister, Robert L. Muhammad, out of Austin, Texas, conflict mediation and squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. He does a phenomenal job. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, giving birth to a God in the science of child rearing. Please get her book. Also, Sister Sherry Muhammad, Asiatic Minds. If you wanted your children to go to school virtually, AsiaticMinds.com. They teach young kings and queens STEM all across the country, AsiaticMinds.com. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Thank you very much. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is the children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Right back to our brother Minister Tarus. Here we go. Boom. My next question for you, sir, is will you ever write a book?
It has not been on my agenda thus far. I'm married to a writer, so I'll let
yes,
if I want to. She went to school for that, so I'll leave that to the professionals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely have some questions about the top 5 superstar, none other than Sister Mariah herself. Coming up. My next question is the Million Man March. How did that personally impact you, and what was it like during where I'm assuming you were? Well, tell us about the Million Man March and how did that impact you?
I wasn't at the first Million Man March. I was, still a lost found. But the 20th anniversary, I was there, and it was the ability to see heaven in person. And to see that many brothers and sisters, and I know it wasn't, I wouldn't say comparable to the first one, but just to see that and knowing that the first one was even better, that man, it got to be God with that man, the honorable minister.
Yes, sir. All praises to Allah. In your life journey, what has been your greatest trial, and how have you overcome that trial?
Wow. What has been my greatest trial? To stay right. That's my greatest trial, to stay right. And how I try to overcome it, keep praying, keep remembrance of Allah, and keep a great team around you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what about your greatest joy, sir, in life?
Marrying my wife.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. And let's talk about for those who don't know, but I don't know how you don't know because you watch the People's Podcast, you know who Sister Mariah is. But for Sister Mariah, what was it that made you choose Sister Mariah?
Why couldn't she chose me? Wow, what made me choose her? She's her greatest attribute is she's a really good woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That right there. And I was always told, love the one that love you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can't beat that.
Beautiful. Now, what advice would you give to future husbands?
Brother Nuri says, so I go by this.
Yes, sir.
What a woman wants, become a man needs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's not just talking about finance. If it's emotional, if it's spiritual, if it's mental, you better make it your need.
Beautiful. All praises to Allah. Well, as you know, I'm sure seeing your wife do the list on top 5 and things like that. I'm very big into music. If you could choose your favorite album of all time, what would you choose?
Which genre?
We'll go multiple genres. Let's say R&B. What would you say?
I don't know if I have I like Anthony Hamilton.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
So that's kind of more neo soul, but that's what I kind of listen to.
Okay.
I know I may look like I'm only 17, but I'm into like the stylistics, the Temptations.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I be rocking and popping.
Yes, sir.
I like Sir Charles Jones.
Okay, we can't listen. You can't get wrong with all the names that you're naming. Jethro Powell says, "Make it plain, brother minister." People showing you love, and she said he loves. Mariah said you love old school Frankie Beverly and Maze. Yep. Whoa. Okay, we all know about it. Yes, sir. My next question for you, sir, is what do you do for fun when you're not in your ministerial role?
Work. That's actually fun to me, man. When I'm able to make the funds to support my family and to support my vision and my dreams, that's fun to me. The messenger said work. So, hey.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes,
sir.
We're
my family, we'll go bowling, shoot pool, watch movies, and try to play games and things like that. So that's kind of what's fun. But other than that, I work a lot because I like to work actually. Because like I said, I be thinking like, hey, this is what's going to support me and my family. It's going to support our future. We always talking about generational wealth, but we lazy. We don't want to work. So how are we going to give generational wealth? So on my end, I'm always thinking about working so I can leave that legacy behind.
Beautiful. All praises.
And I have a wife that allows me to. She doesn't nitpick and fuss about the quality time we could spend because she know I'm out there grinding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful.
You got to give her quality time now. Brothers out there, don't think you're going to abandon your responsibilities. I'm just saying, you get a woman that understands also that you have to be a provider in the real meaning of that, and a supporter and being the real meaning of that. That ain't talking about providing and support. You got a 9 to 5 and that's it. So, well, I paid a bit. It's more than that.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And people saying that's right. And Mariah said you love chess. And people are showing you love in the comments. Okay, beautiful. My last question for you, Minister, is what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow. I would like for my legacy to be that I didn't do it myself for establishing, but I want to make the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad grow so big in the city that I'm in that it takes over and become a staple in our community. And I wanted to be saying, well, they remember, man, Brother Tarus did this, or when Brother Tarus did that. That's what I will I want my legacy to be. So I don't want it to be pretty much like what I just did personally. I want it to be what I helped establish to go on generationally. And I don't want it to be in some cities where it dies or where, no, I want this thing to get so huge. And I'm into sports. Like I'm very competitive.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm into and I played, in high school and supposed to went to like Division II college, but I'm very competitive. So when it comes to these Christian schools around, or even these churches, I'd be like, man, can't none of them beat us. So I want to establish something here. So like we had started a couple of years back here in Pensacola. We had started a school. Now it wasn't an MUI because we wasn't at that point yet, but we want to start something for the weekend for our children, and we called it Freedom University. And what my vision was is to get the babies, you know, we try to get something with the help of my sister Captain and things like that from our MUI to give us the curriculum to get our babies ready. I wanted to put them in competition against these Christian schools around here academically, and we can go to where we doing something on the basketball court or football and show them how we more superior. That was the drive in me of what I wanted to see, because I think that we can get our people to come out more to our university if they can see how we can basically beat all those other things. Because like here, we have a big Christian school called Pensacola Christian Academy. They're the largest school here. I don't know what their grades go down to and all the way up to, but so many people, and it's like so many people in this city that I know that send their children, even some of the believers that was younger, went to that school here. And it's so big here that I would like to have that be our first victim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Okay, so great.
That's just the competitive side of me, because I know can't nothing beat us.
All praise.
So I want to, what you got to have to be a champ, you got to have an opponent. So I feel like they are opponent, and we need to go ahead and do what we need to do to get there, so we can do that. So then we can turn around and give all praise to Master Fard Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the honorable Minister Lord Farrakhan.
Beautiful. I love that, bro. I love that. And I would like to see that coming to fruition in anything that we can do. So everybody who's watching the People's Podcast, if you know anybody that's in Pensacola, Florida, that can assist, let's make sure that we can make that happen. So many people are showing you love in the comments as well. How far is Pensacola?
Happy everyone. Thank you.
Yes, sir. How far is Pensacola to Orlando?
We're looking at about maybe 7 hours or so.
Okay, dang. Okay, no, that's. I visit Orlando quite often, and inshallah, I was about to say I'll be there this year as well. But I guess we'll have to see each other, I guess, when you come to Atlanta.
So you'll go see Mickey Mouse, but you won't come see your family.
I mean, Disney World, I mean, for an actor, man, Universal Studios, it's like the best place on earth for me, man. So I gotta, but we can make it happen too. I mean, I just never had a reason to go to Pensacola. I just never had a reason to go.
Well, we got one now. We got beaches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And I want to make sure that we support you in your efforts, because I really I want to see Florida win. And in the future, man, I feel like our Florida will be my home as well. So I got to make sure that we, make Florida pop.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
You enjoy the weather.
Yes, sir.
When I come to Atlanta, it be cold, man. Once you get down here, you notice it ain't too much cold. Hey, you'll be able to walk up. You'll see us covered up in 50-degree weather. You'll probably walk around with short sleeves in 50-degree weather.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Well, I want to thank you again, my minister, for coming on and taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. Thank you for allowing your wife to be a panelist with us on Top 5. We enjoy her.
She enjoyed it.
Her spirit, praise be to Allah. And thanks for everybody in the comments who are showing you love. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. May Allah continue to bless you and your family, sir. Assalamu alaikum. This is Joshua Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Thank you very much.